There is one thing nobody tells you about waking up early because in all the videos I see about waking up early, it's more about set an alarm for 5:30, wake up as early as possible. Millionaires wake up early, but nobody tells you the secret to waking up early. Because you and I know that even at times when you set up alarms for yourself, you end up snoozing it and going back to sleep, only to wake up 3 or 4 hours later, right? We can relate because I've been there and I had to learn the hard way after doing trial and error, trying so many different things in order for me to wake up early. Because since I started reading books about waking up early, and I just want to see what waking up early will give me. And even after waking up early, I saw the results. I saw the benefits of waking up early. In my previous video, I mentioned the reason why you should wake up early and what I felt when I started waking up early. But since nobody has told you that waking up early is not only about setting alarms, but about how quickly or how easily you can get up while waking up. Because of course your alarm will wake you up fine. But do you snooze the alarm and go back to sleep, or you get up immediately? Do you feel energetic enough? Do you feel strong enough to get up out of bed? Or you are sluggish when you get out of bed? Because they only tell you set alarms and wake up early. But they do not tell you how to actually wake up early. And that is one single thing that I will tell you today. So just pay attention. Waking up early is not determined by how early you set your alarm, but by how good you sleep. And how good you sleep is determined not by how long you stay in bed or by how early you sleep, but the things you do the night before. And there are some tips that I will share with you today that will help you fall asleep easily and have a good and sound sleep. The first thing I want to tell you now is close to bedtime, stay away from your phones. It sounds cliche because they say, okay, go to bed early, don't press your phone at night, don't scroll in bed. But there's a science behind you not getting better sleep when you scroll in bed. There is a chemical, or let me say a hormone called melatonin that is meant to make us fall asleep. It works with the sunlight. When the sunlight is higher, our melatonin is lower. When the sun sets, that is, there is no sunlight outside, our melatonin goes up. That means it induces sleep. In simple terms, melatonin induces sleep. So when you're on your phone towards the evening till night, when it's time for you to sleep, then there is enough light on your phone for your brain to sense that it's still daytime. And then you won't have enough melatonin to make you fall asleep. So in simple terms, melatonin is responsible for you to fall asleep easily. And when it sees light from daytime or from your phone, it thinks it's still daytime, then it won't give you enough melatonin for you to fall asleep. That is the way light controls our sleep. That is the reason when sun rises, our body already has a body clock to know that, okay, it's time to get up and starting our day and start getting active for the day. And when the sun sets, the brain senses that, okay, it's nighttime. You release more melatonin in your brain and then you fall asleep. So your phone is one thing that is hindering you from falling asleep easily because it makes your brain think that it's still daytime and then you don't have enough melatonin to fall asleep. That is one important reason that you're not falling asleep easily enough. Not that you're not getting in bed on time, but you are using your phone too close to your bedtime. The advice here now, the most important thing you get out of this point now is close to bedtime, I would say 1 hour before bedtime. Assuming you always get in bed by 8 or 9. 1 hour before bedtime, probably by 7, you should be done with everything you want to do on your phone. Whatever chit chat you want to do, whoever you want to text, whoever you want to call, do it 1 hour before bedtime. Do it max 7, and then by 8 you should be in bed. That is the first tip. The second tip I'm going to give you today that will help you fall asleep easily and have a sound sleep is not eating close to bedtime. A lot of us are guilty of this. We eat by 9 and then we want to fall asleep by 10. But you do not know that your body actually expends a lot of energy to digest food. And your brain also needs enough energy to actually fall asleep. All right. So your stomach is actually competing for energy with your brain. And all your energy is expended in digesting that food because you ate close to bedtime. So you have to digest the food slowly and gradually. And then your brain does not have enough amount of energy to actually fall asleep and have a sound sleep. So you get feeling disturbed. Your body continues to digest food while you're asleep, and then you feel, you don't have enough sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, you feel lack of energy, you feel sluggish, and you feel heavy to get out of bed. Imagine you are supposed to wake up by 5, you set up your alarm by 5, but your body is still digesting food towards the late hours of the night. How then do you have enough energy to stand up out of bed? How do you have enough energy to be active the next morning when your alarm wakes you up? So you see that it's not even about the alarm, but about you eating too close to your bedtime. And if you ever feel hungry after eating early enough, for example, I get in bed by 8, before 9 I'm asleep, and 4:35 I'm already awake. That is the way my own body clock works. So what do I do to even implement this more? If I want to go to bed by 8, anything 6, 7, or let me just say 6, anything 6, I already had my last meal of the day. Preferably, you should even have your last meal of the day 4 hours before going to bed. For example, I want to go to bed by 8 so I can fall asleep by 9. Anything around 4, 5, I've had my last meal of the day. So my body already digests all the food before I get into bed, and then I can have free energy for me to fall asleep and, continue to sleep for a long while enough before my alarm wakes me up. That was when I started. But now I don't even wake up with alarms anymore. I automatically get into bed by 8, fall asleep around 9, and 4, 5, I'm already awake. So these two things, you using your phone too close to your bedtime, and also you eating too close to your bedtime, these are the two things that is hindering you from sleeping well, having a sound sleep, and waking up full of energy. But the most difficult part of it is you eating close to bedtime, because you maybe probably just hearing it for the first time that you have to eat a little bit later. I mean, you need to eat earlier than your bedtime for about 4 hours. But then you start feeling hungry before bedtime. One secret I usually use is I eat foods that are low in carbohydrates, because carbohydrate meals has to spike your insulin. And when your insulin is spiked, then you cannot rest properly. It's not scientifically proven, but it's just bro science, it's common sense. It's what I've done time and time again. And I've done an experiment of eating carbohydrate foods late in the night. I wake up sluggish, groggy, and with lack of energy, even if I wake up early. I can't get out of bed. I have to snooze the alarm and go back to sleep. But when I eat no food at all, close to bedtime, perfect. I get sound sleep. I wake up early with full energy, and I'm able to get out of bed on time. But if at all I feel hungry after eating like super early, far away from my bedtime, if I get hungry again, what I usually eat is foods that have protein, like eggs, milk, chicken, beef. What is it? Reduce your carbohydrate intake closer to bedtime. That's the secret. So if, for example, you can actually go ahead with not eating at all before bedtime, perfect. You get a sound sleep, you wake up early, full of energy and full of vibes. But if you can't cope with not eating close to bedtime, then just boil 4 eggs and eat. That's what I do. 4 eggs before bed, and I'm good. So my body doesn't have to digest all night. Then I have enough energy to sleep and then wake up as energetic as I could be. So that's one step for you to try again. If you have been waking up early, probably you've watched some of my videos and then you see that, okay, waking up early is nice, I get benefits, but how do I actually sustain this? How am I able to wake up super early without feeling groggy, without having to snooze my alarm and sleeping back? Stay away from your phone 1 hour before bedtime, and also stay fasted. And if you can stay fasted, then eat high protein. My own example is 4 eggs, and that's what it takes. Try it tonight. Stay away from your phone close to bedtime. If you want to sleep by 9, by 8, you should be done with everything you want to do on your phone. Then if you go to bed by 9, then by 5, you should be done eating. If you fall hungry or you feel hungry after you've eaten your last meal of the day, then of course, boil 4 eggs and eat. You see how much energy you have to sleep, and then you see how energetic you'll be in the morning when you wake. That's just the secret. And that is what we teach you. If you watch the video this far, then it means you would like to see more of this kind of videos. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.